Welcome to Q&A of the day. Today's question is, are you allowed to ride a bicycle on Shabbat? It's interesting because I've received this question a number of times over the last number of years. So I'd like to present to you 4 reasons why we are not allowed to ride a bicycle on Shabbat, and perhaps we can also answer the question today whether a scooter would be any different to riding a bicycle on Shabbos. The first reason presented why we can't ride a bicycle on Shabbos is because a bicycle is prone to break. The chain might fall off and might get a punctured tire, and our sages were concerned if a person rides the bike on Shabbos and one of these things occurred, the person might be inclined to fix the bike in order to reach their destination. Fixing the bike would then violate one of the prohibited actions that we're not allowed to do on Shabbos, and so to prevent that, we don't ride the bicycle on Shabbos. The second reason, it's called uvdin dechol. It's sort of a weekday mundane activity. On Shabbat we try to do things different to the weekday. We try to be more holy, more spiritual. And so riding a bike might be considered like a weekday activity. The third reason is there's something on Shabbat called the Tchum Shabbat, going beyond the boundaries of the city limits on Shabbat, beyond 2,000 cubits, amot, beyond the city boundaries. The sages wanted us to remain by our homes, by our shuls, by our community, not travel beyond that on Shabbos. And people are concerned that if you ride a bicycle, you could easily go beyond the 2,000 cubits and violate that particular law on Shabbos. The fourth reason is, in fact, you're only allowed, if you were to be allowed to ride a bicycle on Shabbos, it would only be in a place which has an Eruv, because riding the bike is like carrying the bike. And so if a city doesn't have an Eruv, the boundary which allows you to carry, then you wouldn't be allowed to ride the bike on Shabbos. Now, even if you do have an Eruv, the sages were concerned that by riding the bicycle, you could easily travel outside of the Eruv. You might not think, and because you can travel so quickly and cover a lot of distance, you might exit the Eruv boundary and of course be considered carrying. And so therefore we are not allowed to ride the bicycle on Shabbat. What about a scooter? So really the scooter would probably not have the issue of these 3 major ones. It wouldn't have the issue of fixing because scooters are built differently. They don't have a chain, they don't get punctured tires. They don't also, you can't travel that far beyond the 2,000 cubits so easily. And also, unlike a bicycle, a scooter requires a lot more effort to easily go outside of the Eruv. Others might argue with this, but that's what the sages say. In terms of uvdin dechol, yes, the scooter might be considered a mundane activity. And so therefore, perhaps it's best not to ride the scooter, but again, it's very different to the bicycle, and therefore you might see a number of religious people who do in fact use the scooter on Shabbos to help them get between different places on the Shabbos day. Hopefully that's given you a bit of insight as to why we can't ride a bicycle and perhaps why we might be allowed to ride the scooter on Shabbos. Join me again for Q&A of the day.